I'm with Joelle Eckstein, the founder of the Eckstein Fund, in memory of Rabbi Eckstein. Now, Joelle, tell us a little bit about your husband first, Rabbi Eckstein.
Hi, Paul. First of all, it's so good to finally meet you. I know you did the last interview with my husband, and so it's very emotional to just meet you now. How can I talk about my husband in just a few sentences? I mean, he was bigger than life. He started an organization 38 years ago called the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, and 20 years ago the branch in Israel. But he believed in building bridges between Christians and Jews, and he devoted his life to building that bridge. There's actually a biography that was written about his life, written by Zev Chefetz. And I was just still in shock. It's just a little bit over a year, actually 17 months yesterday, and for a year I was still in a state of shock. You know, he was 67 years old, and I walked in the door one day and found him dead on the kitchen floor. So it's the shocking and most painful experience of my life.
Did he have a good relationship with Christians?
He had an amazing relationship with Christians. He studied Christianity and understood their language and spoke to them. They had the Bible in common, and he had over 1.5 million followers that donated to his organization.
And he developed relationships all around the world, didn't he?
All around the world. I traveled with him all around the world, South America, Australia, just everywhere. He had followers all over the world.
And it's an amazing legacy that he's left behind, isn't it?
It's amazing, and I'm happy to see that his organization is thriving and continuing and stronger than ever.
And who's running that now?
His daughter. But I used to run one of the projects of his organization, and it was a call center that he believed in for many, many years. He saw the need in Israel for a center where anybody could call with any need. And in 2016, he finally opened that call center, and I was running it. So we were 25 operators that would, you know so much about this because he spoke to you on that last interview on about that project. With 25 operators in 7 languages, answering over 300 calls every day. And that's the part that I'm continuing, the part where anybody could call and ask for help.
And this was part of Rabbi Eckstein's dream, and you're continuing the dream.
Exactly. I'm continuing that personal dream of his that his organization discontinued. Actually, before the month following his passing, they decided on a strategic move to discontinue this project, and I saw the need to continuing it.
So tell us a little bit about the Eckstein Fund.
So the Eckstein Fund is the organization that I established right after my husband's passing to continue this project that he believed in so deeply. He really saw a need for this service in Israel for people to have a place to call and ask for help. You know, the social workers in Israel that do an amazing job, by the way, but they are so overwhelmed that they can't answer the emergency. Until they get organized and have a budget to help someone in need, in that vacuum, that emergency time, the first hour, when somebody has their electricity cut off, they can't wait a week for a social worker to come and visit and start and open a file and all. They need an immediate answer, solution today. So that's how they call us, and we can reconnect their electricity in the same day, or get a bed for a child that's sleeping on the floor. We're talking about those emergency needs. We're not trying to replace anybody else's work or job, but just fill in that gap that nobody's filling.
What sort of practical things have you been doing?
So the people that call us have a specific need. It's an emergency need, So we identify that need. When somebody calls us and they're crying because they're so overwhelmed, having so many debts and problems, they can't pay rent. So first of all, it's calming them down on the phone and asking what the specific need is. Why did you call us? It's like an emergency room. Why did you come to the emergency room? I don't want to hear all your medical problems. I just want to hear that what is bleeding right now. So it's either somebody needing food, there's no food in the fridge and there are small children at home, or the electricity cut off, like I said before, or a family of 9 that called us yesterday and their washing machine broke down and the mother is washing everything by hand. They need a washing machine today. Those are the kind of needs that we're addressing and the kind of help that we're giving.
And who do you help in Israel? There are so many people in Israel. You've got Muslims, Christians and Jews. You've got Holocaust survivors. Who are you helping?
So we help anybody that turns to us. My husband's vision was to help all citizens of Israel. Anybody can call us from any age, just anybody. We have operators that speak Arabic, that speak Amharic, Ethiopian, English, Russian, French, Spanish. So we can answer anybody that calls us.
And you're helping Holocaust survivors as well. That must be sort of a privilege just to be able to help these people in their last years of life.
That's what my husband truly believed in, giving these people dignity in the last years of their lives. But again, there are other organizations helping Holocaust survivors. Our expertise is in helping the emergency. If it's a Holocaust survivor that doesn't have food and has nobody else to help them, we'll send them a one-time. We don't take care of people in the long run. We just answer that emergency need, a one-time package, and then we will refer them if they're not part of any other organization that provides them food. On the long term, we will refer to them to the places where they can get help on the long run.
Now the whole world has been responding to the coronavirus. Have you been able to help practically with that? And have you seen more people turning to you because of the virus?
Oh wow, yes. Our lines have tripled in the amount of calls that we receive every day. We really see the need, especially now with people that are not able to pay their rent. They call us, and as a last resource, we're getting thrown out. Our landlord is throwing us out from our apartment the next day. So we try to help as much as we can with people paying rent.
Well, there must be such a big need, is there?
The need is huge, and we can't answer all the needs. We're still an organization that is starting out, even though we have the experience of these past 4 years since the hotline had started. But as the Eckstein Fund is still a very new organization, we're not able to help everybody. We need more funds so we can get more operators and answer more calls. But we're definitely seeing the amount of people that are reaching out is huge, and it's heartbreaking.
So you're here to help people who are maybe just going through a particular bad patch at a particular moment in time.
Exactly. It's the emergency need again. Yeah. It's a one-time answer to, and put, my husband used to call it a Band-Aid. Put that Band-Aid where you can and refer people to an organization where they can get help.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you able to refer people to social workers and to other people who can help in a long-term need?
Exactly, because it's the government is responsible for its citizens at the end of the day. We're not trying to take over the being responsible for everybody, but we try to address that first need and give people the hope. When you help them one time and people believe in them and they tell us their story, and we help with that first need and refer them, it gives them more strength to turn to another organization. And first of all, the social workers, and if they don't know how to get in touch, so we'll help them, giving them the numbers, calling maybe the social services of their city and making that connection, and telling them to believe in the welfare system in the country.
Are some people ashamed when they get to that point and you're trying to bring a sense of hope and care for them and say, look, this is okay?
People are very embarrassed at first, and that's part of the training that we give our operators. We have the experience of all these years now answering these calls, They know how to be empathetic and listen to the caller and help them identify the need and calm them down. We have a social worker that comes in once a week to actually help the operators in getting out that feeling of it's so emotional when somebody's calling. You hang up the phone sometimes and you just want to cry. So they need that psychological help at the end of the day to just get it out before they go home. It's very, very emotional.
So you're not just answering a phone, you're actually showing empathy and sympathy and caring and loving that person.
We're giving people strength and hope, absolutely.
We're all humanity. Are all Israelis responsible for each other?
I truly believe in that, and that's at the core of our organization. Israelis are responsible for one another, and we see the beauty of the Israeli society that helps us, that donates money, that is willing to volunteer. We call people and ask sometimes to give help or bring food over to someone or help them with, and we see the people really, really responding and wanting to help one another. Israelis are beautiful people.
Have you seen God blessing the charity?
Absolutely. This wouldn't happen without God's help. It's not me doing this. This is first my husband's dream, and just seeing it continuing. I had no idea that I would be doing this after he passed. I didn't know how to start an organization or the first thing about how to build it all, and it's just happening. So it's absolutely got the hand in here.
So this was a new vision and a new plan for you as well.
I say it's my husband's vision, and it's become my passion now to continue to keep him alive through this, for me personally. And it gives me now the strength to get out of bed in the morning and the meaning to live on and move. I'll never move on. The pain I carry with me every single day, but this gives me the strength. Having a passion and having a meaning is really, really helpful.
I imagine you actually can't do this job without a vision and a passion.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. You can't, you have to have it in you. It has to come out naturally. And, and I don't take anything from this. I'm doing all this voluntarily. I don't have a salary from the organization or anything like that. It's truly a passion. And helping others is the only way, I think, for me to get over. You never get over, really, but surviving and dealing with the grief by giving to others has been very, very helpful.
Do you get many messages of thanks and encouragement from people who you've helped?
Everybody. They call us the next day in tears. The woman who just got an oven, the woman with the washing machine with her 9 children. People call us every day when they receive help. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for giving me hope. Thank you for giving me strength. And that's very, very encouraging.
So why do you do what you do?
Thank you for that question, Paul. It's really all I know how to do. Ever since I met my husband, it's all I saw him do, helping others. And what you receive, the satisfaction from giving and helping someone is much more than what the person that is receiving. And I knew that I had to keep doing that after he passed away. I didn't know in what way I would be doing it, but I knew I had to keep giving and keep helping others. So that's when I decided to open the Eckstein Fund in his memory. And it's been a real lifesaver.
Is it making a difference in people's lives all over Israel?
You can't even imagine. I mean, when you help someone, you really change their lives. And sometimes just believing in them, just giving them somebody that comes to the house and delivers a food box or helps pay their electricity. It's one of the conditions when we give out specific financial help, even if it's 200 shekels to cover an electric bill. It has to be a life changer. If we identify that the person won't be able to pay it the next month, or if we refer to a social worker and they're not going or they're not willing to do it, we won't pay it. I mean, it has to be a life-changing situation when we give something to someone. So I don't know if that made any sense, but it truly changes lives and saves lives.
So you're changing lives every day. What's your prayer for the future of the organization?
I wish we didn't need our service. I wish the virus be over and everybody would have jobs and get their help and survive on their own, and that we shouldn't need a welfare system, or we shouldn't need hotlines like mine. But just pray that all of this craziness is over fast and life returns to normal, although I don't see any kind... I wish we learned from this whole time of helping each other and being more humble, and people relating to each other and spending time with their children and connecting more with their families. I hope we learn from this and the world becomes a better place.
You have a website address. What's your website address for people maybe who would like to help and help Israelis struggling at this time?
It's Eckstein, ECKSTEIN.org.il.
And we can find you on Facebook as well.
Yes, it's the Eckstein Fund page in memory of Rabbi Joelle Eckstein.
Okay, Joelle, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Paul.